Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today I'm asking the question, could a rogue hacking group get the United States into a shooting war with Iran? Now, here's the reason why I'm talking about this. I am talking about a group called Xenotime. Now, Xenotime is a group of hackers that in 2017 hit a chemical plant, a petrochemical plant in Saudi Arabia, and according to reports from the research outfit Dragos, who's been the ones that have been tracking this, they basically said that the attackers targeted safety systems to cause loss of life or physical damage. So what we have is a potentially malicious hacking group that is known for doing this about 2 years ago or so. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up Xenotime is that since about late 2018 or so, in the United States as well as Asia Pacific, they have been probing U.S. power grids from other Asian countries, and all this kind of stuff. And so I get to thinking, what if we had a rogue group out there that, let's say, was basically mimicking another group? Now, most intelligence agencies probably would be able to spot this, but maybe Iran doesn't have that capability, and so we've got a group like this that, let's say, maybe breaks into Iran, shuts stuff down, or creates havoc, potentially loss of life, and now the United States is being blamed for that, or vice versa, in some way. And so I'm wondering, how this could be. Now, we all know that both Iran and the United States have run cyber warfare, cyber espionage, and all of that. In the mid-2000s, the United States, in a joint operation with the Israelis, created Stuxnet that basically infected the illegal nuclear weapons program that Iran was running. Basically, in I think it was 2012 or so, 5 Iranians were arrested in the United States for attempting to hack the grid of Wall Street and bring Wall Street down for financial and economic disruption. So both countries are doing it to each other, not to mention every other player on the planet. But I'm wondering if some group of, let's say, a Xenotime, an anonymous, some other group like that, gets involved, and one of the intelligence agencies makes a mistake and doesn't properly identify that this is a rogue group, and here we are pointing fingers at each other and escalating something that could potentially cause a severe amount of life, let alone possibly a military invasion. And so I think it's an interesting question that we have to look at. And I think the bigger question is, as we are looking at this, we know that intelligence agencies can be very up to date in terms of what the other intelligence agencies are doing. In other words, I can make myself look like a Russian hacker, basically from the Russian government, but I'm going to make myself look like a Russian hacker from 6 months ago, because those proprietary tools that Russia has for hacking in, breaking, routing, whatever that is, they're going to be known by other intelligence agencies, but they're not going to be public. When those tools get hit and then they get dumped into the public, then the intelligence agency changes the game. This happened to the NSA when they had tools hit. I guarantee you the NSA is not using those tools in their current form, for espionage or whatever they're using it for, because other intelligence agencies obviously have their hands on those tools, and so they would be easily tracked. And so it's something to consider. I think it's absolutely fascinating. But when we have a group like Xenotime that may not necessarily be holding to a government, going ahead and trying to knock out, let's say, a part of the United States power grid or an Asian country's power grid, that's a serious problem, especially when countries potentially might start pointing fingers at each other. So how do we police this? How do we combat this? How do we ensure that when two countries are at odds right now, and right now the United States and Iran is at odds, and I don't know if you heard about the whole Gulf tanker thing, but here we are. I think it really behooves us to be able to step back and say, okay, let's make sure there's some rules here, or there's some kind of validation. That is obviously very hard to do, because we can be incredibly anonymous and incredibly sneaky, if you will, on the internet. So take that for what it's worth, but I thought that would be an interesting topic for Saturday, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.